Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're gonna be doing Bitcoin Cash versus the US dollar. I got quite a few requests from people, from free viewers and from the private group as well, asking me to review the chart for Bitcoin Cash. And so I'm gonna be doing this. But guys, everybody is asking for targets in the downside and for bottom targets, and I wish I could do a lot more technical analysis, but in this case I cannot do a lot because we are at all-time lows. So there's basically no support lines here for me, you know, to use on technical analysis to try and estimate targets or even bottoms. This applies for all-time highs as well. Whenever we are at all-time highs, it's very, very difficult to estimate targets. The only tool that you can use to estimate targets for when we are all-time highs is the Fibonacci extension tool. For targets in the downside, when we are at all-time lows, all you can do is try to find patterns, and these trading patterns will give you targets, but targets are not bottoms, are just targets, right? So this is the first time that Bitcoin Cash is in a bear market. That's why we don't have a lot of history here. It's basically 1 year old, a little bit more than 1 year now, but we don't have a lot of history. In the next cycle, when it goes into another, you know, bull cycle, and in the next bear market, then we will have more support that we can use, you know, to do more accurate technical analysis. But right now, all I can do here, guys, and by the way, I'm going to be doing a little bit of technical analysis, and I'm going to talk a little bit about why this crash is happening and why I personally expect out of this crash, even though I don't have, you know, exact targets or anything like that. So far we are downtrending, so it's always safer to assume continuation, you know, and continuation in the downside when it's bouncing off moving averages. So until this changes, all I can do is expect more downside. So I have here the daily candles, and all that I can do here is draw a parallel channel, in this case downwards, because as I just said, Bitcoin Cash has only been, you know, in a bear market since pretty much since it was created a few months after. So all I can do is draw a resistance line from this all-time high to the second high and the third high, and it's reacting perfectly to this resistance line. So you know, this is a perfect downtrend channel, and all I can do is draw a horizontal line right below it, touching the first previous all-time high here, and then here it was also, you know, resistance before it broke out. So I can join these 2 points, and we can see that joining these 2 points we have a pretty much perfect parallel channel with the resistance line up here. So if this goes down, it could easily go down to $50 for all we know. I'm not saying it's gonna get there, but that's all the technical analysis I can do. This parallel channel, it could you know, go to $50 by the end of the bear market, which could happen sometime in 2019, maybe in February or something like that, you know, somewhere in the beginning of 2019. That's all that I can do for big time frames. It's not even worth going to the weekly or the monthly. If we go into smaller time frames, you can time, you know, entries to play short if you want. If we try on the 1 hour. So if you try, for example, in the 1 hour, you can see that the price reacts perfectly to moving averages. So whenever the price bounces off moving averages, you can try and play, you know, enter short, and then take your profits somewhere. Like you, as I said, you don't even have support lines that give you targets unless we see specific patterns, like for example head and shoulders or triangles, or, you know, or rounded tops. Unless there's patterns, it's very, very difficult to estimate targets here, but you could try to play it short by shorting on the bounce when it's bouncing off moving averages. Right now is very, very extended, so in the downside, so probably, you know, I would say sideways here until the next breakdown. As I said, it's going down, so assume continuation for now. And guys, I wanted to touch a little bit on this video. I know you know, there's no way I can give targets. Sorry guys, I would if I could, but there's just no way. As I said, there's not enough history here to find support lines or anything like that. So we're just gonna have to go with the trend for now and take it day by day and candle by candle until we see confirmation of reversal. So why this is happening, guys? I was watching a video this morning by Crypto with a Zero, Omar Bam. I'm sure many people knows this guy on YouTube. I'm gonna be linking this video in the description later. He was reading a statement by CoinGeek saying that the hash war is over and that they will go their own way, you know, and they will, you know, compete with, you know, using, you know, their technology on their own coin, and they're not going to be bothering anymore with hash wars or anything like that. They're going to focus on growing their BS coin and all that. Guys, now that these people said that the hash war is over, is probably when they will do some trick and actually attack. They are so far already. This is very, very obvious. I mean, it's just, if you don't see it, it's like, you know, talk about manipulation here. They are manipulating the price very heavily, probably because when the price rises, of course, mining becomes more profitable because you get to sell the coin for more money, so the reward is bigger in terms of dollars or in terms of fiat. So they probably manipulate, not probably, like almost guaranteed, they're manipulating the price right now, pumping their own coin. I'm saying this because we know for a fact now that Calvin doesn't mind burning a few $1 million, you know, to manipulate hash or to manipulate price like right now or whatever, you know, so that they can get their way. So they're probably, or almost guaranteed, manipulating the price right now, maybe to make it more profitable to mine, get more hash rates on their chain, and then, you know, attack the ABC chain with this hash. So I wouldn't be surprised. I'm actually expecting this. I hope that Roger Ver is able to see this. I don't think the hash war is over. I think they're gonna actually start, you know, the new phase of the hash war now, starting with the price manipulation. So, I mean, Roger Ver is a smart guy, but he's a little bit naive sometimes. But there's other people also, you know, playing this game here, like Jihan Wu and Amaury Sachet and other smart people. So hopefully they can see this, because I think it's coming. Now, for me, personally, how I see this situation is one person, Calvin, is one person against a global free market. Just like he couldn't win it by hash when they declared the hash war against the ABC, they could not win the hash war because it was one person against a global free market when it comes to mining. So of course, all the miners are gonna come together to, you know, to win this war against this only one person. So the same thing is gonna happen with price. One single person can manipulate the, you know, this market, especially the BS coin is just so cheap. The market is so thin that they can, you know, they get to manipulate it quite easily or quite cheaply. But this is not gonna be sustainable for a long, you know, for a long period of time, because it's one person against a global free market. If the rest of the world wants to dump this coin, especially as more and more exchanges allow deposits and withdrawals and trading for the BS coin, more people will dump it, especially the more it pumps. I am personally, I sent today another like good amount of BCH into CoinX exchange, but I have to wait for like 30 confirmations before they split the coin. So I have been waiting for several hours already, and I'm probably gonna have to wait another several hours. But I was watching the price here go up. I expected the price was pumping in this candle. I expected that the price would dump at 0.6. I actually shared this on my private rooms on Telegram, because there's a lot of selling pressure at this level at 0.6. You see it dumped here from 0.6 down to 0.4. So there's a lot of sellers here, and that's what I mean by that. One person alone cannot go against, like, you cannot manipulate the market that much, you know, to go against a whole global free market. With this said, I'm hoping that Calvin will continue to pump it more. I was expecting a little dump at 0.6, but I said hopefully he will continue to pump it, and maybe he will even be able to pump it to parity. So if that happens, man, if I had my coins split already, I would have started trading some, you know, averaging in and trading some BS coins into BCH at 0.6, because I was expecting this dump, but I'm not able to do it yet. I'm gonna have to wait several hours. So I will be waiting, and I'm gonna be averaging in and trading BS coins into BCH. You know, the higher we go, all the way up to parity if we get there. I'm not saying it's gonna get there, but if that was to happen, like, that would be amazing for me, guys. Personally, like like this tweet that Fake Toshi posted some time ago. He said, "BTC $1,000 doesn't faze me." Well, BCH $50 doesn't faze me either. Like, not even close. Just bring it. It doesn't faze me because I know I'm very rational with this, and I know it's common sense that one person against a world free market, it cannot sustain this for longer. It reminds me so much, guys, to Hitler, Adolf Hitler in the World War II. Hitler wasn't a very smart guy, actually. He wasn't a very good, you know, he didn't have very good strategic, you know, strategy skills or anything like that, but he ran like the propaganda machine and the lies machine, and you know, you can fool a lot of people actually if you use lies and propaganda, which is exactly the same technique that they are using over at CoinGeek. It's beyond me how Roger Ver continues to try to make Calvin a victim when he clearly is not. Calvin is not being fooled by Fake Toshi. They are at the same level of psychopathy. So yeah, it's just beyond me how Roger Ver continues to want to make Calvin a victim when he really is not. And anyways, they use techniques that are so similar with Hitler. I know this because, you know, I mean, I wasn't there, but I've watched documentaries and I read about it, because human psychology is something that it's very fascinating to me. And Hitler it's probably today the most hated person in the planet, but back then he was also able to, like, he managed to have a huge following, and all he used was lies and propaganda, and you know, it was all a show. He wasn't very smart actually, but it was all the show that he created around him, and he managed to have a huge following and build a huge cult around him. And that's exactly the same techniques these people are using, Fake Toshi and Calvin. They're just running the propaganda machine. But you know, they will eventually go down, just like Hitler, just like Stalin, just like all these people. You eventually go down because you cannot go against a whole, you know, world, you know, of free market. So That's why I say BCH at 50 does not faze me at all, because I know it's all based on manipulation from these psychos, and they will go down eventually, and it's not going to be that long, because everything in crypto moves so fast, because it's so easy to move. Everything moves over the internet, and everything moves very, very fast. The price, the hash rate, everything. It's not like, you know, back then during the World War II, when, you know, everything, it took like a decade. It's not. It's going to be very fast. It's not going to be long until these people goes down, because they're not going to be able to sustain this manipulation, not in hash rate and not in price. So yeah, I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, it's almost funny how similar it is. For example, in the World War II, Hitler, when he was like not at the very end of the war, but he was pretty much done already. All the enemies were circling him, so there was no way out of there. He was gonna lose. He was gonna go down, and all the generals and all the advisors were telling him, you know, we need to change the strategy here. We need to back off, because we don't have a way around this. And Hitler was so, you know, stupid and so psycho that he was like, no, I'm not backing off. This is to death or nothing. So he even uses the same vocabulary with fake Toshi. It's almost funny how similar it is. And so he started firing all these generals and advisors just because they were disagreeing with him. And he started hiring inexperienced people. Basically, he was just paying people to agree with him, you know, and he led himself into, you know, into failure, into, you know, to death, because of this psycho mentality and this control freak mentality, and really not very smart decisions. But until that happened, he caused a lot of damage, right? He destroyed the lives of millions and millions of people. So these people, Fake Toshi and Calvin, are actually, you know, they are causing a lot of damage, and I expect the damage to continue. But for me personally, as I said before, it does not faze me. BCH at $50, if it was to get there, I mean, again, I don't know if it'll get there, but even if it's the case, if they can manipulate it to that extent, it doesn't faze me, because I know, if you think rationally, you know why this is happening, and you know it's not sustainable. So we are in a bear market anyways. This bear market will end. Capitulation will happen probably in the next few months, maybe even the next few weeks. We don't know. We'll monitor the charts, but this will end at some point, and it's going to start to go up again. And, you know, these people will go down, just like it happens with all the psychos in history. But until this happens, they're managing to get a big cult here and a big following here. Some people are eating their lies and their propaganda. That's all they have, and that's a powerful tool as well, you know. But it only lasts for as long as it lasts. So guys, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I don't think I have anything else to say. If you want to split your coins, this is dumping right now. It's already at 56. I knew it was going to dump. I mean, I swear I shared this chart on my private group before making this video. So, but hopefully he will continue to pump it on moving averages. Maybe it'll go all the way down here to maybe 40 something, 48, something like that, and then start to go up again. I hope, because I really want to start selling this thing, and I don't want to sell it on the dump. So let's see what happens here. If you want to split your coins on CoinX, I just opened my account here on CoinX last week. They don't ask for verification or anything like that. You have a limit though of 10,000. I think is the equivalent of 10,000 US dollars withdraw per day. So if you are doing bigger amounts than that, you're gonna have to do it in a different days, you know. But other than that, very easy to use. And yeah, so far very happy. So I'm gonna be linking the link down below, just shilling my referral link here. But yeah, if you use my link, at least you know for sure you're going to the right website. You know it's not gonna be a scam website or anything like that. And yeah, the first time it takes a while for the coins to be split, but then if you use the same address for depositing, the coins will come already split. I didn't think about this before, and I used a new address for this last deposit, and now it's taking forever. I should have used the one I used before, but I didn't think about it, and I chose a new address. But anyways, yeah, just commenting on that so you guys know. And yeah, guys, I wouldn't be too worried about it. Just like there was no need to be really worried when the hash war was gonna happen. It was more probable it was gonna be a bluff and nothing was gonna happen really. I had been saying that in videos like all along. Of course, it's not impossible. You know, it wasn't impossible. At the end of the day, we are not in Roger Ver's head or Jihan Wu head or anyone out there, so we don't know how they will react to any of this. But logically, like if you think rationally, man, it's one person against the world. They will go down, you know, eventually. So yeah, I'll leave it here, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll continue to update. Thanks and bye.